Alright, so welcome back again. So in the previous tutorial we saw how to work with the three pillars of functional programming, higher order functions. We saw how to work with map, how to build our own reduce function and how reduce works, and we saw how to use reduce to sum numbers to get the max and minimum. Right, now let's see how to implement our own max and min from scratch, right, in Python. As you already saw earlier on, max and min are part of, we have max here and we have min. They are all part of the inbuilt Python functions. Python functions. If you import the inbuilt model here, so import built-ins, you can see it as there. So let's see how to implement it from scratch. So to recap, min and max can be also implemented using reduce, right? But it has been separated to its own functions. And the idea behind min and max is that it's using the concept of reduction or folding to get the single cumulative value. So the idea is it's going to take in an iterable and then return a single cumulative value. So let's see how to implement it. So let's say I have my list here, our favorite list. Let's give my list 3, 1, and then 70, and then 9. So I have this particular values here, right? So this is my list. In case I want to find the minimum value, I can easily spot it that is 1, right? In case I want to find the maximum value, I can easily spot that is 70. So how do we compute it? So by default, using inbuilt functions, so inbuilt functions in Python, right? We can just go with max, then I just go with my list. So this is going to give us the result, right? Because I also want to find the max, so find the minimum value. You can just go with min and then my list, and it's going to give us a result, perfect, which is 1. How do you implement it? Using reduction, the concept of reduction, right? So as I said, it takes in an argument which must be an iterable. So let's create my function. So the idea is, if you have not watched the previous video, you can watch it, but let me simplify it. So the idea for reduction is that we have an iterable and we are picking the first 2 values, right, or 2 values at a time. Then we are doing some computation, you are applying a particular function to it till we get a single value. So in case I want to find the minimum value, I'm going to pick the first 2, 4 and 6. So I'm going to compare them, 4 and 6, which of them is greater? Okay, 6 is greater. So now I'm going to store 6 somewhere and compare 6. I'm going to compare 6 to the next value 2. 6 and 2, which of them is greater? 6 is greater. So I'm going to store 6 again and compare 6 to 1. 6 and 1, which is greater? 6. I'm going to discard 4, 2, 1, left with only 6. And 6 and 70, which of them is greater? 70. Then I'll move on like that. That is a basic understanding. So let's see how to implement it. So I'm going to go back again and I'm going to implement it from scratch. So implement max in from scratch. So I just go to create now simple function. So as we saw earlier on, we could have used 2 values, but this time we are applying it on the whole function. So def to find max, right? So I'm going to pass in my list. So this is going to be a sequence. So I'm passing in. And then I'm going to get a first value from that particular sequence. So let's keep that first value as my maximum value. Right. Then I'm going to get all the other values. So the first value is going to be 4. Now to get every other value here, the rest of the values. So from here onwards, right? So to do that, just go with the unpacking symbol, the asterisk. Then let's call that the rest of the values, right? Then I'll just go with sequence. I'm going to unpack all of these things. So if I come back and I do the same thing here, I want to show you how it works. If I go with, say, first and then the rest. If I go with asterisk and I just go with this for my list, so the first value now is going to be 4 and the rest is going to be the rest. So if I go with this option, so first, let's print the first and let's print it out. So if I go back, you see that the first value here is what? 4, right? If I want to get the rest, print the rest, if I print it out, you're going to see that okay, the rest are there. So with this asterisk, you're unpacking the entire stuff into one particular option, to one particular variable. So let's move on and then apply that same concept. Now you have gotten the entire stuff. So the next thing that we need to compare, right, because maximum is finding the maximum, so it's going to be for my number in the rest. I'm going to compare the first one, which is going to be my max value down, to the rest, right? So that is the basic understanding. So since I want to compare them, I'm going to say that okay, if the number, the current number, is greater than the max value. So the reason the first value is set as the maximum value that we don't know what is here. We don't know the remaining one. We only know the first one. So we are just picking that one as my default maximum value and comparing it with the rest, right? So perfect. If that is the case, if this one is, my current number is greater than the maximum value, in this case greater than 4, then I want to set that particular value. So maximum value is now equal to that particular number. Then we're going to return that one. So return that max value. So that is how to implement it. So this is going to be repeated for the rest of the values. So let's run it again. So you basically understand that I'm unpacking them as you saw. We're going to compare. So if for that particular numbers here, if this particular number is greater than this, then now this particular number is, if this is greater than this, then this now is the maximum, right? If this is greater than this, then this now is the maximum. That's the basic understanding. So let's try it. So I'm going to go as find max over my list. Let's see. So we need to get 70. Perfect. So it is not that bad, right? We got it at 70. This is, we have to be considering space, time, complexity, right? Because of how it is. Because if the list is very long, it's going to take some time, right? Okay, so let's go back again and then apply this. So this is the basic understanding how to implement your own maximum function, right? So the first rule is that we are picking the first value as our default maximum, then the rest is going to be unpacked as to the rest. Then I'm going to look through the rest and compare it if the current value is bigger. So I can actually put, say, print my num here. So let's go to current number. Now you see it's working behind the scene, how it works. So this is going to be a number, right? And now I'm going to go back here and then let's print the current max. So max value. So we are just picking the current number and the current. Let's see if I run it again. I want to show you how it's working. So let's run it. You can see that the current number was 6, the maximum is 6, the current number is 2, the current number is 2, the current number is 70, right? So all of these things are still smaller. Now you see that the maximum number is 70 because all of these things, num, right? If it is not the maximum, it skips it. So we see that from here, we had the current number was 6, then the current number was, maximum number was 6, yes. Then the current number is 2, because 2 is less, it skips, then I reach 70 is the maximum, 70 is the maximum, minimum is, the next number is 9, but it's not the maximum. So that is the basic understanding behind this thing. So that is how this particular function works. So with that same idea, we can also apply this thing we had. You can copy this. My mouse is misbehaving. If you want to sponsor me with a new laptop, I'll be so happy. Okay, so let's go back again with this one. Okay, perfect. So let's implement the minimum. Same thing in case I want to implement the minimum function from the sequence. The same thing we did this time. The basic idea is that I'm going to just change this one from this to min. So let me change this and then this and then this one. Every place I'm seeing max, I'm changing it from max to min. Right, but the basic understanding is that we are just changing the value here, right? Let's run it again. Now I have my list here, so let's print the list, which was this particular list we have. So the minimum value is going to be 1. So let's run it again and see. So I'm going to pass the minimum value. So this is going to be my find min. I'm passing my list. If I run it now, you're going to see it working, right? So it's running, you can see it at work. Now you can see the final value was 1, right? Because the current was 6, minimum is 2, the current was 9, 1, then it skips, right? That's the basic understanding behind how to build your own custom min and max in Python. This is using the concept of reduction or folding behind the scene, right? Very nice, and just reducing it to a single value. I can comment this one out so that it looks better, right? And it's still going to work. So if I come back here and I run it, we get only 1, right? Very nice. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and see you in the next session. So let's see the last one, which is how to implement your own length of a function, right? So to implement the length, you'll be trying to check that one later in the next session. See you another time. Stay blessed. Bye. So to recap, the basic understanding. So the basic understanding was that we are using the concept of reduction behind the scene, but what we are doing was that we are just picking the first value and then the rest of the value, and are going to compare, loop through them and compare them and assign it as the default, right, as the current value. That's the basic understanding. See you another time. Stay blessed. Bye.